guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to this channel, in this channel I just usually share some of the things that I used to change my lifestyle in the past several years by building a healthy routine, by going to the gym, and by reading books. Occasionally and more often I share a lot of my best memories on this channel. And I've been going to a lot of restaurants. I'm more grateful for all the viewers on my YouTube channel, especially tuning in to all my foodie vlogs. To be honest, I was not planning to use this channel as a journal kind of resource for myself, but I have been able to use this channel as an excuse to discover a lot of restaurants, a lot of hidden gems, and hopefully that can bring a smile to your face when you watch those videos. On some of my favorite restaurants, I really loved them at the beginning. When the first several times I went there, they have no star or they have only 1 star, and eventually that I really like this one is called Mono. It's one of my favorite restaurants in Hong Kong. They opened doors last year in January and they got number 44 on the top 50 Asian restaurants. So it's a mix of French and Southern American cuisine. They get 1 star, some of them got 2 stars, some of them got 3 stars. So today's video, I just want to summarize a few tips that I've been using to try to discover some hidden gems or maybe the next Michelin Star restaurant. Let's go. Let's define what is a hidden gem. The hidden gem doesn't usually mean the one with the most stars. Usually the ones that's not relying on some big chains or some big hotels, or they just inherit some kind of stars. They're usually a smaller setup and would love to show an open kitchen. That's what I find as a trick. These restaurants often speak to the chefs themselves, to their hearts. It's usually a story, a showcase of their upbringing. I mean, usually the chefs, they've been traveling everywhere else. They've been working in some big established Michelin Star restaurants, and then they decided it's time to open their own venture. So to find those restaurants, the first is to search. Not just Google, not just TripAdvisor. Personally, I just type in the best new restaurant in, say, London, or in, say, Paris, or in, say, Hong Kong. I will always look at Time Out. I feel like Time Out is a good reference for people who live in that area, not just for tourists. And I will always look at a few first results that come out from Google and see what are the overlaps of the restaurants, and then I will note it down. And then the second step is I will always find them on Instagram. Nowadays, a lot of restaurants, they really have a presence on Instagram, and depending on how many followers they have, if you have followed several foodie accounts or the accounts of some chefs, the more mutual followers, it's either that they're good or they're famous or they're popular. At this point, you'll be able to find some preferred ones, either because you like their setup, you like their photo. I follow a lot of chefs, like in Hong Kong. It's just naturally because every single time I visit a good restaurant, I will follow them, they will follow me. And so by this point, whenever I open a page of a restaurant on Instagram, I'll be able to see whether they have some followers that is the chefs that I follow, because the chefs that I follow is usually their restaurants I've been to, I like them and they're friendly, then I follow them. So it's a good reference for me. You can slowly build up your own database so that you can actually have this cross-reference. After you narrow down the list, the next point is to actually talk to people. Ask them about the restaurant, what they like about the restaurant and what they don't like about the restaurant. And the way that you enjoy a restaurant and the way that you enjoy a meal might be different from them. So I usually will listen to the feedback and to see the details of why they really like it. And then I will find the one that matches my criteria, or you can just go to them all. It's a matter of how you want to spend your time and whether you want to really single out the one restaurant that you actually plan the meal as an event to go to with your best friends for a special kind of occasion. So now voila, you have your list of perfect place to visit. How do you get the most out of it? First thing first, please write down your requests in the notes to the restaurant. I almost always leave a personal note to say, hey, by the way, I've done some research, I've heard a lot of good things about you, and I'm looking forward to enjoy the meal there. If it's a really good restaurant, they will actually look through all the notes and to have the information of you as a customer, and then it will actually make your visit more enjoyable, because now to them you're no longer just a name. You are somebody who has a background story, you're somebody who enjoyed this, who actually is looking forward to the meal. They will possibly want to take care of you more. Or sometimes it might not happen, then those restaurants shouldn't be going on to your list. Most of the time, a good restaurant really take care of all your requests. People will take care of it, and then they will actually pay extra attention to your requests. And don't be shy to request things that it's who you are. You might be able to unlock some hidden menu in that way. And then when you're there, actually tell them what you like about this restaurant. I always tell the waiter or whoever who comes along, the sous chef, or about the food, how do I like them and how some of them maybe you can improve it a little bit. If they're a new restaurant, if they are a hidden gem, they usually care how the customers think when they're there having their meal. So it's really a good way to connect with them, and they do care and want to improve. Don't think of it as if you're being fussy or something, because if I like a restaurant, I really want them to be better and better. So I always wanted to provide some feedback, at least from my angle. I think it's valuable. I will try to talk to the waitress, the receptionists, the chefs if they are free. I want to know all about this restaurant. I want to be able to connect the food and story with who they are.
My pleasure to meet you finally.
Finally. Thanks, Chef. Been looking forward to come to this place.
The concept is still Latin American, so we are also like having very heavy influence from it, but at the same time the concept itself is built from those two men that have like both French influence in the restaurant and very Japanese influence.
Where are you from?
I'm from Italy.
If it's a really good restaurant, they will tell you all the stories. They will be like, oh, this is my grandma's recipe. This is because I've been to this part of the world. I really want to bring that flavor into this dish. All of the stories plus the way that they present the dish will make your memory extra special. You'll be able to remember the meal so much better. I will always be fascinated to learn a new type of ingredients, say for example, why they use this here, how does it make the dish better. It's just a natural thing to ask for me at this moment, and I think just in general upgrades your experience. At some point, the chefs almost feel like a friend to you. They will be able to share a little bit of story with you. And then finally, some other tips. I always recommend people to follow chefs on Instagram. There are so many celebrity chefs out there, you can just easily search them. The reason why I recommend people to do that is because you'll be able to see what kind of restaurant they go. They usually travel to other countries, to their friends' restaurant. They all know each other no matter where they are, because there are only so many fine dining restaurant or like new restaurants to watch restaurants in the world. By watching what they eat and what they think is good, especially from the chefs that you like, it's a really good guidance about what is the good restaurant that you want to visit. You can also follow some very big foodies. Some of the foodies, I think, they are local, but some of them, they just travel around the world. They can just go to all the best restaurants. They are like friends with all of those chefs. So those are the foodies that you want to follow if you want to discover the next Michelin star restaurant. I do want to follow the chefs. I think that's the best reference, because they know some of their friends are opening up restaurants. They will be able to know the first, even before everybody else. And when a new restaurant is open, that's usually the time that you can easily build up a bond with the chef and the team. They will also appreciate you as a customer who provides some valuable feedback. So there's another tip is I always talk to the chefs and the waiters and waitresses to ask them about what their favorite restaurant and if there's anything else that's on top of their wish list that they haven't been to. And that's how I build up my list as well. I will put a list of my recommended hidden gems down below, so you can also visit them and see whether they're to your standard and your preference. And that's pretty much it from me. If you want to have some fun discovering the next Michelin star restaurants, you can certainly do so, but you don't have to. You can just keep tuning into my channel. I will keep sharing good restaurants. If you have any good restaurants you've been hearing a lot and you wanted to go but you haven't got a chance, you can leave a message down below. Maybe at some point I'll be able to visit it and you see the video here in this channel. If you have not yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. That's really help more people to find this channel, and share it with your friends and family, and I will see you next time.